So, up for review today, we actually have the Xpt100. Now, these are headphones that are, I would say, made by Nvx, but that's a lie. They're actually sold by Nvx. And what I mean by that is that this particular model is actually a generic headphone that is just, made by an OEM, and, Nvx just puts its name on it. That's why these look exactly like the brainwaves. The pads are pretty much the same as the brainwaves. It's all just a generic design that just gets licensed. And Nvx has been selling these for a good while. I've actually owned this pair for over a year now. And I have mixed feelings about it. What I like about it is the comfort. The pads on them are fantastic, as pretty much since you probably have used brainwave pads before. This actually came with two pairs of pads. These right here, which are the regular ones, and then it came with angled pads. Now, the angled pads have started being used with another pair of headphones, but on these, I like the non-angled pads better. These just feel better, and actually the sound of it sounds the best on here, and we'll get to the sound in a second. But it also came with a spare cable, removable very easily. These easily just get pulled out and put back in. No problems there whatsoever. Construction is I would say a solid 6. It's above average. It's not the sturdiest thing ever, but it's not fragile as hell. I would say this is more than acceptable. Now, I paid $60 for these. They regularly sold for $80, though I've been seeing them for less on Amazon, somewhere around $75. This, at that price point, are good in a specific price category. And I have to, or not really price category, but use case. And I have to go into a little bit of detail for that, because for music, if all you plan on doing is listening to music, these are not for you. They kill sound for music. They kill the fun that you would have listening to music. They are very much anemic when it comes to bass. They are mostly treble, and they are not a fun experience for most genres of music. I can't really think of a genre of music where these felt like they were strong in, because no matter what headphones you use, a lot of the times you will find at least something that they're strong at. And I think these don't really excel at anything at its price point. Its competitors at this price point are, I would say, it's close to the M40Xs from Audio-Technica, and those are a more fun headphone. If you're the kind of person that's looking for headphones for fun, the M40Xs are actually better than these. You're better off spending a little bit more in this price category. I mean, you also have the what's called SHP from Philips, the 9500s, and I mean, they're open back as opposed to these closed backs, but I mean, they sound significantly better than this. I don't hate the ships, they are fantastic for their price, but these just don't compete with most things in this price category. So then why do I say that they fit a niche? Well, the niche that I feel that they fit is headphones for podcasting. Well, you might be wondering, well, what do you need for podcasting, really? I mean, what does it matter? Well, when you are podcasting, and a lot of the times you are sitting there for a very long time, usually anywhere between an hour to 3 hours. I've seen some podcasts that go up to 5 hours. In all that time, you are wearing headphones most of the time, because you want to be monitoring yourself, you want to be monitoring everybody else around you. If you're in a big table, it's a lot easier to hear the other person when you have headphones where they're speaking right into your head. And these fill that category so perfectly because of these brainwave pads. The fact that they don't have a lot of bass also is a blessing, because of the fact that sometimes, and I say sometimes when I really mean a lot of the times, if you use something like, and for the longest time I used Audio-Technica M50s for monitoring during, long recording sessions, you kind of start to lose a lot of detail in the sound because of the fact that they are very bassy. A lot of headphones, especially in this price category, tend to emphasize bass a lot. And emphasized bass is nice for, certain genres of music, but when you're, having to listen to a person for, let's say, 3 hours, that bassiness can really start to mess with you and can be an annoyance. You want to hear somebody clearly. You don't really want to get that boominess that you would get with something like the M50 and even the M40. These, having that reduced bass, can really provide a clear listening experience for just a podcast situation. Now, that is just a very particular job for these. Are these really that worth it for it? I would say that yes, because that is a price category, or a niche that at this price category is not really filled by anything particularly great. The most popular headphones for that specific job are a pair of Sony headphones. I can't for the life of me remember the model number, but picture of it on the screen right now, and those are around $60, but they're very uncomfortable. I've used them before and they are uncomfortable. Now, of course, they give you a very nice radio-y sound to everybody, so people really like using them because they're very mid-forward. These are not mid-forward, but they are clear. That is one thing these do. They are clear. In terms of music, they kill all of the enjoyment that you could possibly have with any genre, but for a situation where you have to monitor live audio from somebody else speaking, these are where it's at. Now, these pads may get a little hot for some people, they may get a little sweaty, but in terms of comfort, they cannot be beat. I've seen, different podcasts and even radio shows where people are using those specific Sony headphones, and they are they're constantly moving the pad or moving a cup like this all the time off their ear just so that they could breathe a little, or just because it starts to hurt their ears. These, while the breathing problem might still occur, you won't have a comfort issue. There's not going to be a comfort issue. There is no issue to have in terms of comfort with this. And I think that's where these come in. They beat out the M40s in the sense, and the M30s, because these are better built than the M30s, without a doubt. And in terms of the M40s, these give you a more pleasant sound for listening to somebody else. You're not really getting that gross boominess. They're way more comfortable than anything below this price point. And the fact that it comes with a cable that is quite long. So you have a replaceable cable. You can get a short cable and a very, very long one. I forgot the exact dimensions of it. I will, I'll put it on screen right now. But with that cable, it's a lot more suited for a situation where you have to be farther away from everybody because of the fact that, you're probably sitting at a table and you're all talking to each other. So in that kind of environment, pick up, let's say, 3 of these. I can almost promise you these will change your life. They're great. They're great for that specific role. In terms of music, I hate them. But in terms of you want to sit there and monitor live sound for extended periods of time, there is nothing better that you can get for $80, let alone $75 or even $60. I've seen these as low as $60. In fact, I'm pretty sure if you look at Amazon and you can find these maybe open boxed, they will be $60. At that price point, grab as many of these as you can, because if you're someone who is podcasting, your guest or your co-hosts or you yourself will appreciate the comfort that you get from these. Now, just be sure you're in an area that is at least air conditioned, because these can get a little sweaty. That's a problem with these types of pads in general. They're concealed so that they get a little hot, but that is something you can deal with a lot more than a pair of uncomfortable headphones. And I feel like the majority of headphones at this price point are either uncomfortable or are just not well suited for the job, or both. Because I feel like the M50s are both. I don't find the M50, or rather the M40s. M50s are way out of this price category, but this applies to the M50s too. I don't think that the M40s and M50Xs are as comfortable as this at all. I find actually the M50Xs and M40Xs to be uncomfortable, especially after extended periods of use. So these fill that role a lot better than most headphones. But for music, look somewhere else. So down below, I'm actually going to be linking to these, and I'll actually leave some other alternatives if you are looking for some headphones that are closed back, that are in this price category, but are better suited for music, because these are a no-go for music.